Nigeria records fresh bombing incidents in Jos Plateau State, Sabongari in Kano State, and attacks by insurgents on communities in Borno State. There is increased pressure on the federal government to come up with concrete steps to address terrorism in the country. President Goodluck Jonathan has since condemned the attack as a tragic assault on human freedom. He further assures all Nigerians that the government remains fully committed to winning the war against terror and will not be cowed by the atrocities of enemies of human progress and civilization. President Jonathan equally reaffirmed Nigerians' commitment to the implementation of the resolutions reached by the recent Security Summit in Paris. Today on Dateline Nigeria, we take a look at the recent bomb attacks in Jos and Kano State, as well as the ongoing efforts to address the nation's security challenges. Also to come on the show today is the report from the various standing committees at the ongoing national conference in Abuja and its role towards national development. My name is Okamechi Somto and this is Dateline Nigeria. The volatile city of Jos, central Nigeria, was again thrown into chaos as two bomb explosions ripped through the city, killing scores of traders and residents. The explosives, which were said to have been concealed in a lorry and minibus, went off several minutes apart in a busy market near the University of Jos Teaching Hospital and railway intersection. The death toll has so far risen to more than 100, with many more injured. Although the city of Jos has witnessed several deadly clashes in the past, it is said to have remained relatively calm in the last 2 years. However, there are fears in some quarters that the recent bombing may spark off reprisal attacks, but the state government cautioned against such and appealed for calm as efforts are in place to tighten security within the state. In another development, the Nigerian police said it has averted what could have been a bomb attack by terrorists in Kano State, northwest Nigeria, when it recovered a vehicle loaded with improvised explosive devices in the Nasarawa area of the state. According to the State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Adenrele Shinaba, the vehicle was recovered Monday morning along Tafawa Balewa Street and has since been rendered safe by the police bomb disposal experts.
Throughout the night, we kept ourselves busy ensuring that we move around, patrols, and everywhere should be covered to dominate the entire Kano. And this morning, it yielded some good dividends for us. We were able to get a vehicle that was abandoned on Tafawa Balewa Street in the Nasarawa area of Kano. And when we searched the vehicle, we were able to recover 2 gas cylinders, a jerry can of petrol, and some wires. These are objects that it clearly shows that we will not rest on our oars because we do not know what they are planning, and we have to be a step ahead. And that is what has been happening so far.
The failed attack came on the heels of the car bomb explosion that rocked Gold Coast Street, a popular entertainment spot in the Sabongari area of Kano State. The commissioner said about 5 deaths were recorded as a result of the explosion, with many more injured receiving treatment in the hospitals.
5 people died, and if I may give you a breakdown of the 5 people that died, there were 3 men who are innocent Nigerians that were killed by the blast. 1 innocent girl, young girl, who is about of a secondary school age, was equally killed in the blast. The 5th person is the suicide bomber himself. So that is what happened. and 7 people were injured and were taken to the hospital. And as I talk to you, as of this morning, 4 of them have been treated and discharged out of the 7 that were injured. That is the update in respect of this incident so far.
Some survivors and witnesses share their experiences.
I saw one car just from this side. Immediately that car parked here. It's not quite 30 seconds. This thing happened. I'm just running. Immediately I get to this car, I fell down. That was how I just seen myself. Before you know it, something just dragged me and stole me to this white car here. And I stand up because my baby was shouting, fire is burning with Igbo. Fire is burning me on my head. Fire is burning me on my head. I'm just calling people to come out. Many people are just calling keke or nobody to help anybody down there. So we just stand up and run into the compound and I ask my compound people, please, you people should come and pour water on my body because my husband is not around. They start pouring me water in my body. Before you know, I fell unconscious. They take me to good pasture. My husband come back and take me to good pasture. They give me some injection, about 4 injections. About 4 injections, I love that.
Me and one of my co-tenants, which are child. So this happened around from 9 to 9:30. That's when it happened. So we just hear the sound. So we jump off. I try to run inside my apartment. I see that I got the tenant.
I was just coming back home, so we were just at the edge of this place, the bomb blast. So there are some homes there catching fire, so I had to go pinch them upstairs. All to come and meet my sister with a huge of blood on her back, big ammunitions inside her back. Her bones are broken, so we had to pick her up, trying to get the car. Nobody before we got the car. So, but before then, there was a girl I saw down here. She sells fish here. She's dead with her intestines out. Even this young man, I met the man here with one armless. He's already gone. So we had to take my sisters down to the Nigerian Air Force Hospital. Now her status is just that she's trying to correspond with the medical treatment. They've just confirmed 3 dead.
Okay.
Because we took 4 people there. They've confirmed 3 dead. So we just left 1 lady now. I saw 5 dead body.
5 here.
5 here. Mesuya here. The other boy is burning with that. He's just down here helpless because the fire here. I wanted to come around, but I'm suspecting maybe there's going to be another bomb here.
Okay.
So he's down here. That one is already gone. Another person down there is already gone. Then there's 2 men there, which are total 6 in number, but 1 is still having some life in him. So, but those ones are dead already.
5.
There are 5
Then
dead
you saw
already.
3 again.
Now 3 this morning. They confirmed 3 dead in Armed Forces Hospital.
Okay.
I heard the sound myself, but I wasn't sure of what happened. I later thought of, what do you call it, Nepal, this thing, transform, maybe it's transformed. Because it was only once. I didn't hear the second one. But this morning now, I come to understand that it is one.
Residents of the area decry the attack, which will be the first since the twin explosions that rocked the New Road and Enugu areas of Sabongari last year. They urge government to beef up security in such areas as Sabongari, dominated by non-indigenes of the state.
In fact, I'm surprised to see this because all the time I've been recommending the government for enough security. So I don't know how this happened. The other ones, I might say it was by accident. But this is purposely done. When they could enter Sabongari, no people, and then it happened. I don't know actually how to describe this.
The issue is very unfortunate, very callous, and very perfidious. There is no religion that preaches killing of people. If there is highest common factor of all religions, it is preaching sanctity of human life, sacredness of human life. But somebody going to waste people's life and still in the name of religion, I think that is the height of abomination, both on earth here and before God in heaven. Yes.
So your message to the police?
We heard this issue, this sound in the night. Like Igwe said, it was as if it is like transformer or something like that, because in the past we used to have sounds like that. But unfortunately, towards early morning hours, the facts started cutting off. And when I went to morning mass in the morning, I came here and saw things for myself. Soldiers were taking control of the situation. Our advice to the police or to the security authorities is to step up their security in Sabongeri. Now it is clear to them that the place is somehow maybe attracts the people. Let them step up security. More security here in Sabongeri. Yes, effectively. Naturally, the Igbos in Sabongeri, right from the inception of Sabongeri, when Sabongeri started, the Igbos are constituting the majority population here. You understand? And it's growing with time. This thing, I will not say is targeted on them directly, but it's targeted on Sabongeri. Sabongeri is occupied by Igbos, Yorubas, other tribes, other non-native tribes. They are here. So when we talk of Sabongeri, it is general.
While no group has claimed responsibility of either incident so far, it will be recalled that Nigeria over the past weeks accepted the offer of assistance by the international community to tackle its security challenges. Top on the list is the rescue of more than 200 girls abducted from a secondary school in Chibok, northeastern Nigeria, in April 2014. The rescue effort is currently ongoing with support of foreign military advisors. Meanwhile, the National Assembly has equally approved a 6-month extension of a state of emergency in 3 northeastern states, Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe. It is therefore hoped that all these efforts and the collaboration with foreign powers will yield results towards an end to insurgency and terrorism in the country. With several weeks of brainstorming and deliberations gone by, plenary resumed to receive for consideration the reports from the various standing committees. In preparation for the consideration of the reports at the floor of the House, the leadership of the conference attempt to set the modality for the debate on the submitted reports, to which other delegates reacted.
If you submit your names, you have up till 6 in the evening to submit your names. By that time, you would have read the report and made up your mind, the comments you want to make. And if we have it, we'll put your name in the other paper. So we will have some synergy with you, and we'll make sure nobody says I raised my hand and I was not recognized.
But if you want us to go by the bodies, representative bodies, that will take us maybe some days backwards, before we got to recognize ourselves, to know which body, which representative body you belong.
Mr. Chairman, I think it would be totally disorderly, chaotic, and contrary to the rules of procedure to begin to consider reports by this method of asking members to submit their names, and then by some form of lottery, you bring out names of people who will speak. That will be chaotic, and I think it is best that the Secretariat be advised that the procedure that has been laid out in the rules should be followed.
Order 9 Rule 4 says, the rep bodies shall speak in alphabetical sequence. So we need to know the names of all the rep bodies listed from A to Z. By the time we have done so, and they designate who is speaking for them, the group that begins with A speaks first, all the way to B, C, D, all the way to Z. When we have finished that, then in my opinion, the chairman has the discretion to allow anybody else to speak. That is the way I understand these rules.
The delegates are confident that the set methodology and the level of patriotism expressed so far at the committee level will help speed up the debate processes at plenary, so as to attain the needed consensus towards a new socio-political and economic agenda for Nigeria.
Any mode of discussion is always results in heated argument. The topics and the issues are quite contentious, some of them. So you were expecting a nice, robust discussion. Now, the methodology, I think it's good that people who wish to talk should write down their names, and actually those who wish to talk, who have any objections to raise, should write down their names. I think that's right. We shouldn't waste our time with those who are giving commendations on that, so that we can move fast.
When we started, people came with their own ideas and their own mindset. But over the period of time we've all been together and we've interacted, we've all realized that, it's not just one side. We all have our problems. And as Nigerians, we'll try and see how we can work things and amicably amongst ourselves and still remain united. So really, I don't think there'll be, a lot of problems in our discussions. There might be some arguments, but I'm sure we'll resolve them eventually, because we've all realized we're all Nigerians.
We have worked very hard. We've talked to ourselves seriously. We've debated at the syndicated committees very, very honestly, and people have voiced what is on their mind. And in most cases, what we feel, whether anybody likes it or not, should be the pathway and the new framework upon which we can relaunch Nigeria.
The debate of the reports began with that of citizenship, immigration and other related matters. The committee seeks an amendment to the national constitution to bestow full rights on all Nigerian citizens, irrespective of the place of birth or residency.
I am saying, right, you cannot subject a Nigerian to any disability or deprivation by circumstances of his birth. Once a Nigerian settles in any part of the country, is entitled to equality of rights and obligations and duties. That's all I was trying to get across.
All of these nomadic people who move from place to place, particularly for cattle grazing, originate from somewhere in the country. But then the way they earn their living has forced them to begin to go outside their normal places of residence to other places, and mostly outside of their states, where their cattle can get greener pasture. Therefore, what is very important is that all the states of the country must be made to recognize this situation about these people, and they should be accommodated everywhere they go to, because what they are doing is not just serving them, it is serving the entire country.
In reaction to the current security challenges in Nigeria, the delegates called for a strengthening of the nation's border control to check illegal immigration.
There is a need to review our security strategy. Also, probably to float new category of security forces that will man our porous borders. As you have heard, there are probably over 1,000 illegal entry points into Nigerian territory from all parts of the country. And in view of the complication of our security situation, whereby foreigners come into Nigeria, to commit all sorts of atrocities, I believe there is a need actually to give a thought immediately as a matter of immediacy to this present danger.
Also of contention at the floor of the House is the issue of gender, as the delegates pushed for the entrenchment and subsequent implementation of the 35% affirmative action, a policy that demands 35% involvement of women in all governance processes.
What happens in Nigeria is that the Nigerian woman is not given level playing grounds. The Nigerian woman is not economically empowered. The Nigerian woman will find it very difficult to win elections, because election in Nigeria is a lot of money and she's not economically buoyant enough. The major contract, the major money, the major, oil lifting grants are all given to the men, not the women. So the women become permanent beggars, which is most unfortunate.
Nigerian women should not be seen as disabled gender, because they are the most active gender in the nation, and whatever they ask for, it will not be too much, because the women are the background of every development. In fact, women are the yardstick of the development of every society.
The data should be segregated by age, gender, and disability, as disability will become a key indicator in responding to this kind of situation. Mr. Chair, in the past in this country, in responding to the situation of national disaster, persons with disability have been excluded. When they bring in some materials, you see that things like wheelchair and mobility aid will not be included. This is because they are taught that persons with disability in such community would have been affected with such by such disaster. So I'm hereby proposing that we add very strongly disability as a very strong indicator in addressing this situation.
The 32-page report was eventually adopted through a consensus after several amendments. Some of the amendments include use of language, tribe, and religion as indices for enumeration during national census, as well as mandatory teaching of indigenous languages for the first 3 years of primary education. The National Conference continues with more reports to be debated over the next weeks. The program has been Dateline Nigeria. Thank you for staying with us. Do join us again same time next week. Bye for now.